Hey everyone, Kyle Woodall, Christ Mission Church, Las Vegas, and today we're going to look at John chapter 13, verses 1 through 17, Jesus washing the feet of the disciples. So let's get started with the reading here. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. During supper, when the devil had already put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter and said to him, "Lord, do you wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "What I am doing you do not understand now, but afterward you will understand." Peter said to him, "You shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "If I do not wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "The one who has bathed does not need to wash, except for his feet, but is completely clean. And you are clean, but not every one of you." For he knew who was to betray him. That was why he said, "Not all of you are clean." When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, "Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do just as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them." So a lot to unpack there. But as we focus in on what we just read, verses 14 and 15 tell us why he did this. Saying, "No, if I'm your Lord and teacher, I wash your feet, you guys should do it to each other." Right? "For I've given you an example." He's giving us an example here. The example here is of servant leadership. He was modeling that we're humble, we're not power hungry. We're here to serve others, to do good for others. And if you also look back to verse 1, we see that Jesus was doing this as an act of love. The verse says, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. So it was an intimate, personal, and sacrificial act that Jesus was doing to his disciples. And now others here, if we look at verse 8, it looks like it's symbolizing spiritual cleansing. Because Peter, around this time, is like, "Hey, you're going to wash my feet, Jesus? This doesn't feel right. This is not what I thought should be happening with you, the Messiah, the King, right?" But as soon as Jesus said, "Hey, you'll have no part of me if you don't let me wash your feet," Peter's all on board. He's like, "My hands, my head, Lord, wash it all. Wash it all. Let me be yours." Just so again, servant leadership, demonstration of love, and symbolizing spiritual cleaning. And if we kind of look now towards us, what are we to do from this example? Well, it's a message that should encourage us to be humble ourselves as we go out to serve others through the love of Christ. We put others first, no matter our title or position. We stoop down on our knees and wash others' feet symbolically by doing the very things that Jesus taught us to do, of loving others, telling about the good news of the gospel, of how they can be saved, how they can follow him. Now, this can also be led into the idea of just letting go of the way this world is. The world is all about being the next big thing, the next big famous person or rich person of high position. Jesus, being God in the flesh, coming down to mankind, deciding to step down into our realm and take on a humble life as a human, fully God, fully man, and then be able to stoop down and wash the feet of his disciples. Back in those days, you're walking around in sandals, or what we would call sandals. I'm not sure exactly how they would call them in those ancient days, but you're walking a lot of stuff, and sometimes you have a lot of animals. You're going to step in things, and your feet are not going to be the cleanest thing at all. So the idea of washing them is very a messy ordeal. And so it really captivated their thoughts and understanding that, hey, this is something important. This is something we need to keep our mind on and follow this example that Jesus set forth for us. But anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Hey, keep looking up. Jesus is coming soon.